What's up, everybody? Welcome to Wednesday night. It is the Fantasy and Frames Women's Basketball Tournament. Guys, I'm joined tonight. Colby Conway. Colby, what's up? Happy opening day. How are you doing?
Yes, is I guess first opening days. We got the one game going on tonight as actually we're doing this draft, and then all the other teams play tomorrow. So opening day V1. Can't complain. Excited for baseball, but glad to be talking a little football here with you.
Yeah, same. Yeah, my team doesn't play till Friday, and I inadvertently scheduled a friend dinner Friday, so I'm gonna be the worst, and I'm just gonna have my phone up and like with the game streaming while we're
Yep.
trying to, be present.
Yep. That's the life we signed up for.
Yes.
My wife, who actually did one of these, I think a week ago, maybe, I
Yeah.
can't remember. She did one of these, and we were talking about something, and she was like, I was talking to this guy in college, and I actually didn't go forward dating with him because he was like too into sports. And now, meanwhile, I got her doing fantasy football drafts in March. We go on
March.
dates, and I got the phone out on the table, getting breaking news. It's like
Yes.
first day of free agency is a holiday in this household, so it's just funny how things all come full circle.
I went out with some friends on Valentine's Day, and there was a couple at the table next to me, and they were just like couple goals because they were clearly watching some sport. I don't know what it was, but they had their phone out and they were super invested. You could tell, like, like just like,
Mhm.
yeah, they were really into it. And I saw them and I was like, if it's not that, I don't want it, like
Yeah.
just
The power of
perfect.
sport, the power of sports, and the power of love. And when you put them together, it's wonderful.
Love it. Guys, well, we are halfway through, well, almost all the way through round one of our Amy Trask division for tonight, guys. Just a reminder, this is best ball tournament, 20-man roster. It's going to be PPR, full point PPR, tight end premium, as you can tell with Trey McBride, Brock Bowers going in the first there. Yeah, so I'm gonna introduce our drafters real quick. We have got Kelly Singh, Miss Diana Green is joining us. Renee, you guys know her online. She is NFL Freak. We got Sam Holt, Miss Laura Fasakis. I think is her first time. Sam and Laura's first time drafting with us. We've got Amber Phillips, Tasha Macri. We've got Miss Hema Martinez, Bonnie Robinson, our youngest drafter of the tournament, Miss Addison Kennedy. She's going to be joining us a little bit later tonight. We've got Danielle Salinger, and then Melinda Clear Ogle is also drafting. And so, guys, this is our sixth draft, and we've got one more. It's coming up next week. But yeah, so very excited. We're going into round two. It looks like we're on a running back run right here. I didn't plan on jumping into this right away. It's like further down on the show sheet, but I wanted to kind of bring it up since we see it right here. Colby, in these drafts, I've been seeing a lot more running backs lately than wide receivers, and that's been so different than like previous years. Do you feel like that's going to be a trend after like last season where I think running backs were a little bit more valuable in fantasy?
I don't know if it'll be a trend. I do think it will continue because at least with a bunch of the studs, the role solidified, and the recency bias might be a thing. Texans are not frauds. We'll talk about them in a bit, and why everyone of that on that team donning the steel blue and liberty white to be drafted in the first 5 rounds. But we'll get to that in a little bit. But no, I've definitely found. I mentioned to you before we started. I haven't really done a fantasy football draft yet this season, but watching my wife do it, I feel good about early running backs. And once it
Yeah.
gets past like maybe the top 15, 16, 20-ish, depending on where that all settles in, it just gets scary. And especially in these drafts too, it's not the strongest running back class, but Jeremiah Love's going to come in and screw up a
Mhm.
backfield because he's just going to dominate.
Yep.
Uh, Price is going to come in and he's also going to be an impact there. And then Mike Washington, the combine darling, could come in and steal touches. And then some no-name 7th-round running back is going to get drafted, and we're going to have questions of like, oh man, I don't know about that starter. He could be in trouble. Like, it's just outside of the top 15, 20, maybe even 22 running backs, it gets a little dicey with draft season still haven't happening yet. What running backs are going to come in and steal stuff. So I want to get a couple of those stud RBs early and not have to risk it.
Oh yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3 double running back squads so far with Bonnie and Diana, and then over here number 7 with Sam. Guys, real quick, also just wanted to let everybody know and everybody who's watching online, we do have a great new partnership that I'm really excited about. We are partnering with Fantasy Fits. Guys, they are making these specially designed fantasy football themed t-shirts. I put their information in the chat so you can find their website. We do have a promo code for you guys. You get 15% off. That is FIF15, so FIF15. So jump on in there, check them out. They're an awesome company. I'm really excited to be working with them. Guys, as promised, we have got the one, the only, our youngest competitor, 2 years running now. I'm gonna bring her on in. She's on the clock. I'm gonna let her make her pick first, and then I'll bring her on in. There we go. Oh, Colby. I think she must have drafted him just for you.
See,
What's up, Miss Addison?
You know how to cater to the hosts. I love it.
You took Nico Collins there.
Yes.
I like your start. So you've got Jamar Chase, Josh Allen, and Nico Collins so far for your roster. How do you feel about this team?
Pretty good. I mean, Josh is who I hope to draft every single year. And then Nico, I've been with him for a while, and then I've also had Jahmyr Gibbs, so I decided to go Jamar Chase.
You already had Jahmyr Gibbs, so it's like you got to get like the same person who's like just close enough with that name. Josh Allen was not getting past you, was he?
No.
How are you a big Bills fan? How did that happen?
So I don't know. I think I was like 5 or 6. My dad, he needed Josh to score, so he like jumped up when he scored, and I was like, "What happened?" And he said, "He scored," and I was like, "Who?" And he was like, "Josh Allen." I was like, "Who's that?" And he was like, "It's the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills." And I was like, "Oh." And then like I started getting into football. So like Josh was just like the first player I actually knew. So like that's just like how I started liking him and the Bills.
I love that. That's kind of how I started playing fantasy and becoming a Packer fan was my first fantasy draft with my dad. We picked Brett Favre. You probably don't know who that is. He's so old now. How long have you been playing fantasy, Addison?
4th year, I think. 4th year.
Yeah? Oh my gosh. How old are you?
11.
Oh my gosh. You've been playing, you've like just born into it. I love it. You've got a lot of fans over here in the chat, Addie.
They're all my friends.
Do you have a girls' league that you play with or a friends league?
No, none of my friends. Like I'll like tell them that like I'm like, oh, I have a fantasy football draft this week, and they're like, huh? They like know it since I talk about it a ton, but like they don't play it at all. I mean, I bet I could probably convince some of them to make a league with me, but I don't know how that would work out.
Or just don't give them a chance. Just send them the link and say you have to join. Don't even give them a chance. Don't even ask if they want to. Here's the link. Sign up, play, get them hooked, and that's how it starts. And then you got them in, and the next thing you know, it'll be 30 years from now, and it'll be your long-standing running league of friends from 30 plus years all playing in the same league together. You can't make new, old, long leagues, so might as well start now.
Yeah. Well, who do you think? Oh, look, you do. You've got so many friends in the chat.
Yeah, friends, league mates, they're synonyms.
Brody Keene.
Synonyms.
Brody Keene.
They're ready. You're going to have to get them in. So next year we can have like, a whole like division for you and your buddies.
Yeah.
We'll have to live stream their draft. If it's going to be this interactive in the chat with that league, we'll live stream that one. We'll do all the women's best ball tournaments plus Addie and Friends League. We'll get that one streamed.
Yes.
You like Riley on Brady's.
So you took 2 wide receivers so far and a quarterback. Well, who are you thinking that you don't have to tell us who you want to draft, but where do you think you might go with the rest of your build?
Probably running back. I'm gonna go with next, most likely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think you've got some good options coming up.
I know you got Josh Allen and you got the Bills there on the shirt, so obviously the Bills fan. What other Bill? If someone can't get Josh Allen, who's the next Buffalo Bill that someone needs to be looking at?
I would say James Cook.
Okay.
most likely, probably. Or, I mean, Dalton has been going down a little bit. Like, I remember I used to want to draft all the Bills, and I would Dalton was pretty good, but then he just started going down a little bit. So then I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably just say James.
Yeah. Fair enough. And there's worse teams to want to draft a bunch of than the Buffalo Bills, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you could make, let everybody think that Dalton Kincaid's not going to be very good, and you could just grab him later, and then you'd get great value.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going into the 4th round. This draft is flying by so far. I love it. We've got some really great looking teams here. Let's see. Colby, AJ Brown just goes here to Sam's team. Do you think that he's going to be traded?
I mean, each passing day, I'm kind of thinking not. I mean, I think the Eagles I think they have their foot in the ground that if they don't get the price for him, they're going to hold on to him. So I'm leaning no. I'm excited. I'm really excited for the Eagles passing attack this year, believe it or not, with the new offensive coordinator and literally anybody but the guy who shall not be named who was there last season. I think it'll be good. So I'm thinking I'm kind of playing that AJ Brown's going to stay in Philly in my draft. That's what I'm going off of right now.
I think so. You mentioned earlier that you hope that my dog started barking because I can guarantee you he's about to, because I just took his favorite toy away from him because it's got this horrific sensor on it. He brought it over to me, and I knew, I was like, if I don't get this away from him now, that's all anybody else is going to hear the rest of the night is just constant squeaking.
I already muted because the barking started once, but I was a little slow on one of them, so it was heard. But and Addison is on the clock right here. Make the pick live. Let's hear it. Take your time though. Use the clock.
Ooh, Travion Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it. Very cool. Oh, it's gonna do another one.
Is it gonna be back-to-back running backs? Another receiver? Do we go a tight end?
He is gonna take it
inside the mind. There's still quite a few Buffalo Bills and Houston Texans. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
And Green Bay Packers. Just throwing that out there as well. Sorry, there's actually a lot of Green Bay Packers, but it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know that we need to take them this early.
Nope. It's okay. They'll be in the middle.
Yeah.
They'll be in the middle rounds.
Totally fine. There's one Green Bay Packer that I feel like probably will be the next of his position to go. If things are staying as they have in a lot of these drafts.
Yes, I'm high on Matthew Golden too.
Oh, Emeka Ibuka. Addie, I love it. He's one of my favorite receivers. I know he kind of had a not so great end of the season last year, but I'm a really big Emeka Ibuka fan.
Not the only guy in town.
No, I know, right? And well, Godwin, but I feel like things are going to open up for him a little bit more this year. And also, I think Baker. I don't know if it came out. I know it was like Baker's going to sign some big extension. I don't know if he actually signed it yet, or they're speculating that. But I think I saw that earlier. Oh my gosh, he found another squeaky toy. Uh-oh.
God, I'm not kissing
I'll have to grab that from him here in a second. Yeah, so Vince says there's always a lot of Texans on the board. I think Vince is trying to troll you there a little bit.
Yeah, it's a big mistake. It's a big mistake. I'm just enjoying the comments here at Addie going on in the chat about not selling and all these comments. I'm telling you, Addie's the key to views.
That's right.
Views and comments on YouTube. That's how you get it. Bring her on, let her draft a couple of Buffalo Bills and a Houston Texan, and let the chat blow up. That's it. That's all you need.
Exactly. All right. Well, Addison, besides your team, is there a team that you really like so far in this draft?
You can go here. Can you choose the team to see? Can you scroll?
Oh yeah, there's a if you go down to where the where her roster is on the draft board dashboard, there'll be a button that says draft board, and if you click that, it'll just put up the board like what we've got on the screen. That might be easier to see. I forget not everybody can see that. There goes Tucker Craft. Ooh, Melinda with that Colson Loveland and Tucker Craft start and a tight end premium. I love that. I love that a lot. Colby, the other night, we had a draft where the 12th team, we did Trey McBride and Brock Bowers back to back.
Ooh, I like that.
So fun, you know. Hey, we've got another drafter joining us. The lovely and talented Miss Kelly saying, "What's
Hi.
up, Kelly?
I'm making dumplings for dinner right now."
Look at you multitasking, actually triple tasking."
Okay, this is literally the worst draft I think I've ever put together in my life because I was sniped like every pick leading up. So
Is it Addison? Is Addison sniping you?
Diana, Hema. So I'm just panic picking over here. Oh, it's my turn. Watch this. Surprise. Okay.
It's a good one.
It's not, but
Mark Andrews. I was wondering when he would go off the board. Are you excited about him now that Likely's gone?
I mean, I'm always excited about him.
more so than usual. Are you more so than usual?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying not to blind you. I realized that my window is like blinding. Let me try this again. Let me close.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Guys, we've got quite the tight end run over here in the 5th round. We've got Kraft goes and then Pitts. So Hema's got 2 tight ends now, too, with McBride and Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, it's kind of disturbing.
He's really
I know. And you know what? I'll just let you know, guys. So Hema is drafting while she's at a concert right now.
We're all just
look at the
trying
dedication.
to stay afloat.
Dedication. I love it.
Just pick from the top.
I want to do that for baseball though.
I love it. So we're rounding in. We're going into the 6th round over here. Melinda loves a tight end premium. I love a tight end premium too. Do you guys enjoy doing premium drafts or do you
Everybody's catching, what do you call it? I don't know. Everybody's getting wise to the tight end picks.
They are. Do you guys think okay, so I want to see. I'm going to look in the queue and see who do we have left that's out there?
Laporta.
Actually, I'm going to look. Yeah, Laporta's gone. So Diana took Laporta.
Oh no! Then what's happened with my board?
I mean, you got the rookies.
Refresh. Yeah.
You got the rookies coming in. Taylor's fiance still available.
Yep.
Brenton Strange. Addie's favorite tight end, Dalton Kincaid, still available.
Yep. Maybe not for long. Who knows?
That's very true. That is very true indeed.
Who do you
Jake
think?
Ferguson?
Oh yeah, Ferguson. Let's do top 5 tight ends this year because we talked about this the other night on one of the drafts, and I want to see who you guys think are the top 5 tight ends.
Top 5
I'm
tight
so
ends.
nervous.
McBride, or by ADP, or how I think it ends.
Yeah. How do you think? Going in. How would you rank them right now?
Going into the season. McBride, Bowers, and Loveland are in a tier of their own.
Ellie, Arizona.
I'm gonna go
Warren.
Tyler Warren, and then I feel like I almost have to say Harold Fannin, but I'm a sucker for Tucker Craft, to be honest.
Same.
I think I have to put Fannin. I think I have to put Fannin though, at least going into the season. But I expect to have more shares of Craft than Fannin.
This is really stressful.
You're doing great, Kelly.
rice paper in way too long, and I think I accidentally stole Addie's pick, and it makes me really upset because I didn't mean to.
You're a Cardinals fan.
I don't know. I think Addie might have one up her sleeve. We'll see. Addie, don't tell us. Don't tell us. We don't want to tip anybody off. I like the Hunter Henry pick,
Cardinals fan. I think you like mixed up the birds.
I definitely did, because my game is just completely thrown off. I don't normally cook dinner in this house. And my picks got taken way too early. So I don't know. It's a mess.
Wait a
Addie.
second.
It's a mess.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. I want to dive into this. You don't normally cook dinner, but the night that you do, you go with dumplings.
Yeah.
Not like something super quick and easy. That's very. You just go with dumplings.
Dumplings. I mean,
I respect it. I respect it.
Instagram sucks me in. You know, make it look so easy. I watched the video like 25 times.
So y'all look at a recipe, and if it's more than like 5 bullet points, it's gone. There's just no chance it's happening.
I just saw the chat there. Do you know that I got at least 3 text messages asking me if I was going to go tight end heavy? So obviously not, as my draft position.
Oh man, Kelly, I am very impressed that you are hand making those dumplings, because that's a level of dedication that I just don't have.
I mean, it's a good thing. Hold on, it's very loud here right now. I'm gonna mute for a sec.
There you go, Addie, taking Dalton Kincaid. I love it. Well, Colby, I wanted to ask you some questions about your Texans, since we can we've got you here and we can pick your brain. Because David Montgomery goes in the 6th round here to Hema as her her running back 2, which I absolutely love. Addison, don't think we're not coming back to that Bayshall Tootin pick you just made. Put a pin in that. We're coming back to that one. Colby, what do you think about the addition for David Montgomery? Like, are you excited about that? Like, what do you think that he brings to the Texans offense?
He's going to be RB1A. Woody Marks will still be involved to an extent, but I think the exciting thing for those who draft and or get stuck with David Montgomery is the fact that every free agent offensive lineman they're brought in are run blocking specialists, not pass blocking specialists. They got rid of Titus Howard, who is a better pass blocker than a run blocker, and they brought in Braden Smith and Wyatt Teller, who will improve the run game. Now, that being said, I don't know if it's going to be a good offensive line. I don't know that, but I do know that they are going to want to run the ball. They are going to run the ball at will. Nick Caley will force the run because his creativity is borderline non-existent. So I would be excited about David Montgomery. And with how good that Houston Texans defense is playing, they will not be getting blown out of games. In theory, they should be leading, so there should be ample rushing opportunity. So David Montgomery there in the 6th round, I think, is a phenomenal value.
So, like, what does this do for Woody Marks? Because I really liked Woody Marks last year. I feel like this is good for him. Do you think, with David Montgomery there now?
I will say it this way. On paper, it should be, but I don't know if Nick Caley knows how to utilize a running back who can catch the ball well, because that was his biggest skill coming out of college, and he caught maybe 20 balls last season, and he should have caught way more. So if Nick Caley can use him right, I think it's a good thing for him. And also, too, considering he had a season-ending injury every single week, maybe this will help him a little bit be, on the field and avail. I mean, it's not like he missed a ton of games. He just oftentimes left for an extended period of time. So hopefully it helps with the durability aspect for him, but make no mistake about it. Montgomery is the lead back. The draft capital they gave for him and the updated contract they gave him says that he is going to be the 60% of that backfield, the 65% compared to Marks. And I still think they're drafting a running back in the middle rounds. So Marks will have some added competition.
Ooh, is there anybody that specific that you would like to see go there?
A lot of people on Texans Twitter like Mike Washington because he ran like a 4.340 or whatever it was. But I think Emmett Johnson or either of the Penn State backs I'd be really excited to see there.
Nice. All right. Miss Addison, let's talk about Bayshall Tootin over there. I like that. That's a sneaky pick there. You get him in the 7th round. and now he's the guy in Jacksonville?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I just feel like since he's now the starting running back for Jacksonville, I just feel like, and he can catch passes, so I just feel like he's gonna be like a good ad.
Yeah, I think so too. And you got him in the 7th round, and you're getting a starter, so in that
Yeah.
late, I think that's great.
Yeah.
That's a really good value. Here we go. We got DJ Moore off the board, guys. We are like I said, in the 7th round. Oh, there goes Carnell Tate. Is that our first rookie receiver off the board? I think it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Colby, what do you think? Is Carnell Tate your number 1 rookie receiver, or is one of the other guys like Tyson or Lemon or somebody else?
I love the talent of Tate, but I think from a fantasy perspective, like if Tate goes to Cleveland, I'm just not going to like it. And of course, hindsight's going to be 2020, but that's where you can really benefit in these drafts where like after the draft, Carnell Tate might be a 5th round pick instead of a 7th. Kenyon Sadiq might be, especially like in this format, like might be a 3rd or a 4th instead of a 7th. So you can really capitalize on values here at this point. I think a guy like Mekhi Lemon is going to be really intriguing because he's not really going to push for a top 5 pick. But what if he what if he gets picked to like New Orleans, where he's going to be the wide receiver 2? What if the Los Angeles Rams take Lemon, knowing that either one of Nakua or Adams is gone within a year or 2? Like Lemon could step in there. So I'm a little bit more intrigued from a fantasy perspective of Lemon, but Tate's a very, very undeniable talent.
Yeah, I really like Mekhi Lemon. I like all 3 of these, the top, receivers. I think they're really, I don't know. I'm just really intrigued to see where they all go. But you mentioned to the Rams, Puka seems like he's having an interesting offseason so far.
Sure is. Real ball
guys,
dropper of an offseason.
Yeah, guys, you can Google it if you haven't heard.
We need to go finish.
It's like I have so many shares of him in Dynasty. It's just not. I'm not moving them, but it's not like this isn't a very hunky dory, very feel good off season, to say the least.
No, it's not great. Not great at all. I'm waiting to see where one of them goes beyond Nico Collins, but I want you to rank the Texans wide receivers and throw in Dalton Schultz as like a little bonus too. But I wanted to see like where, like Dell or Higgins or Noel go. Collins went in the 3rd, but you know what? I mean, we could go ahead and do that, right? Let's go and do that now. Is that okay? Or should we wait? What do you think? Yeah, could you rank them for fantasy?
Yeah.
Like, where do you think they should be going?
Collins, Higgins, Schultz, Dell, no. And that is very subject to change because I could very well see Nick Cassera doesn't really trade up in the 1st round. He'll do it in literally every other round, but he won't do it in the 1st round. But if he were to make a move in the 1st round, Kenyon Sadiq could be in play. If he can get to down to like 19 or 20, Houston could move up because Houston's tight end room, one of the least athletic groups of humans I have ever seen. And I know full well I am saying that sitting from my chair on my couch most days. Like I'm fully aware of that. I'm a beer league wiffle ball player and an average CrossFitter at this point. So I'm very aware of what I'm saying, but it's incredibly unathletic. Dalton Schultz looks like a refrigerator out there. Foster Moreau is just there to block. Brevin Jordan's torn an ACL in back-to-back seasons, and Cade Stover's Farmer Gronk, and I haven't seen it on the field. Like, it's not a good tight end room. So don't be surprised if Houston drafts one early, and if it's not Sadiq, it could be like a Eli Stowers or that I forget his last name, but the Sam kid from Stanford could be a tight end they look at too. Roush. They could be looking at him too. So they're going to add a tight end, and I think that could hurt Schultz, but maybe not for 2026.
I have a question for you that I just thought of based on what you're saying. And so Dalton Schultz last year led the team in receptions with 82 behind Nico Collins with 71. Does that more of an indictment on what was going on with their receivers and just a lot of injuries and stuff? Or is that because they really like Schultz and Stroud has a good connection with him? Or is it like somewhere in between?
It's mainly that Stroud had happy feet and was just looking to get rid of the ball immediately, and Schultz's little 3-yard out routes and stuff. Like, I would love to, maybe I'll watch some highlights and make it a thing of mine. I would love to see how many, like, what I'll call empty receptions he had that were just like little dump offs and stuff, because he wasn't breaking a tackle. So I'd be very curious to see what happens there. But yeah, it's nothing great. It's nothing great with Dalton Schultz.
Yeah. What's up, Albert? Thanks for joining tonight, guys. Thanks to everybody for joining tonight. Angie's in the chat over here. There's Vince. Guys, this is so great. Drew's in the chat.
All of Addie's future league mates in this league that we're going to start this year.
Quick.
Every one of them. Guys, also don't forget, hey, if Sean is here, of course, how can I forget Sean is here? Don't forget though, if you're maybe one of Addie's future league mates and you're like, hey, I want to draft in this too, let us know, because we do have a standby division where I need just like about 4 more ladies to join, and let us know, and we will start a slow draft as soon as we wrap up our next draft on Monday. So if you guys, anybody out there listening, watching tonight, if you guys are interested, send us a DM, let us know. Exactly, Angie. All the cool kids are here.
I missed it. What did you get?
100. She got Tony Pollard. Kelly's on her last dumpling. Addie got Tony Pollard in the 9th to go with Facial Putin and Travion Henderson. And she gets Alec Pierce.
I think it is off.
Addie, how do you like your last 2 picks here with Pierce and Pollard?
Pierce, I feel like was a good pick for them. Pollard was an auto pick.
But are you upset though about it? Like, or you think it'll be okay?
I think it will be fine, because, I mean, I feel like my teams I picked in the first couple rounds and like the way down is pretty good. So I feel like I should be fine with it, and it's not like he's the worst. So
yeah. Totally. I mean, he's a starter for now, unless they draft Jeremiah Love, and then that's a different story. But yeah, I mean, he's a starter for now.
Yeah.
And I mean, these other guys in this round, like Kyle Monangai, Kenny Gainwell, Tyler Algier, I guess, is probably going to be a starter. That might be a question for Kelly.
Who you wanted? Tell her who you wanted.
Definitely think he's going to come in sharing just like they thought that Trey Benson was going to be sharing with James Conner. James Conner himself wants to share. I know he feels like that would take some of the burden off, from what I understand. And I hate to say it, but we could still see another injury. But I think Tyler Algier is going to split touches alongside James Conner, at least in the beginning.
Kelly, if you had to rank your Arizona running backs for fantasy purposes, how would you do it?
I think they're still, at least at the start, going to prioritize James Conner, followed by Tyler Algier. Gosh, I hate to say it, probably going with Trey Benson, although Bam Knight made quite an impact last season. So it could be Bam Knight, then Trey Benson. Trey Benson didn't make quite the splash I think that everybody thought he would, plus getting injured. So that's a tough one, but Bam Knight is probably ahead.
So you guys had like a ton of running back injuries last year. Like the 49ers get to blame theirs on the substation. Is there a substation in Arizona that we can blame all that on?
Unfortunately, no. There is not. But I would just blame it on, there's nothing to really blame it on.
It's not like on like an old burial ground or like something that like,
I mean, now that could be a real possibility. Like we stirred up some ancient spirits, and all of the developers are like, that's okay.
You guys need to go burn some sage in the end zone or something.
Probably. Or maybe just make the really cool field like we had during rivalry week, which we won like the best field and the best unis. Even people want to argue with me about it. But maybe we just need the better end zones, the better whatever design in the middle, get some fresh things happening.
How do you feel about your new head coach?
No way.
I'm actually pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be good. I see a lot of movement happening where we're seeing connections. I know everybody thought Malik Willis was going to make his way over to Arizona. That didn't happen. We're going to get ready for some Minshew magic, apparently. So I'm here for it, I guess. I think the coaching is going to be a step up for sure.
Yeah.
The coaching is not the problem in Arizona.
What's the problem?
Well, since I can't seem to make my way into the job pool, I'll go ahead and say, I would say it's management, upper management, ownership is a big problem. They make a lot of administrative moves without thinking about how it affects the fan base. Go back 2 years, tearing out the end zone seats and putting in casitas that nobody sits in. Tearing out the first 9 rows around the bowl to put in luxury seats that nobody sits in. And now they're displacing season ticket holders again, which is in a good way to move family and bring players' families closer together instead of scattered in one section. But it was just like, hey, this is happening, bye. So the fan base is pretty disgruntled, which doesn't make great for team morale. I think it all goes back to management.
Man, we got a bunch of stuff over here going on in the chat over here. Shauna wants to know, Kelly, are you coming to visit to Albuquerque for the Scott Fish Bowl?
I mean, I've been requested at so many locations. I think they just want me to make dumplings, maybe.
I think Tasha wants you to make some dumplings.
I
would love to go to Albuquerque. I have heard from Sean that it's a mere 6-hour drive, which I've done plenty of times from LA to Sacramento. But I am going to Boise to draft. I'm going to Vegas to be in my second home. And I will attempt to put Albuquerque on the roster.
There you go. You got to hit them all.
Yeah. Boise. Who's ever been to Boise? Not me. I'm really excited.
I hear they drop a potato at New Year's.
Yep. That is true.
Angie,
you can attest to that.
Yeah. Angie Hatfield in the chat can attest to them dropping a potato for New Year's.
Better look now.
Colby, there goes Travis Kelce in the 10th round.
Likely.
Finally off the board behind Kittle, Goddard, Dallas Strange. Is that too low?
He went to the Giants.
No, because there should be enough of a role for him. I think it's fine. You saw it last year. It's the writing, the end is near. The writing's on the wall. He just doesn't have it. He's going to, instead of being the dynamic weapon that we saw him be, he is at best like a possession receiver at this point, and he should catch balls. I mean, there's not really anybody else there. So I would have personally taken Isaiah Likely over Travis Kelce, like Addie did with taking Likely. But hey, teach their own. I'm not in the draft, so it's teach their own.
We need another running back too.
All right, Juwan Johnson goes next. Addie is on the clock. Can't wait to see who she's going to pick. What's up, Stephanie Miller? Thank you for hanging out tonight. I think Stephanie holds the title currently for the most best balls drafted thus far as we sit here on March 25th. Stephanie, has the number gone up from the last time that we asked you? Question mark.
What was the number at the last time? Like, what are we talking so far?
125, I think.
All before opening day for baseball. That's impressive.
I know.
Wow.
I am going to run, friends. I wanted to pop in and say hi because I knew there would be lots of friends watching.
Yes.
But now I'm extra multitasking and I don't want to burn these bad boys.
Well, and we don't want you missing any of your draft picks. Kelly, thank you so much for joining us. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Kelly in Phoenix. Pretty much everywhere else you can find me there, or I post everywhere I put there. Does that make sense? Wherever I'm at, I'm posting it there.
You're my love.
Enjoy your dumplings, and we'll see you later.
Bye. Bye, Addie.
Bye, Kelly.
The Commanders could.
All right, Rashad White. Look, you're just crushing it with these running back choices. I love it.
drafted there too.
For those of you guys that don't know, Rachaad White has found his way to the Washington Commanders right now.
And if Jeremiah Love goes at 4 to Tennessee, I think it is. If he doesn't make it to Washington at 7, White's going to have quite a role. And this is kind of we talk about with rookies. If Love doesn't go to Washington, White's going up 3 rounds in terms of value at least. So it could be a good steal. And even so, if Love comes in, like White has such a bona fide skill that will play for that team right away. So I love the pick there.
I mean, everybody forgets that, like in Tampa, I think it was the year before last, he had like 7 or something like that, like, like receiving touchdowns. And in PPR, I mean, that's what you're looking for. Like you're going to get a guy that's got value later on, and especially around with the other guys that are being drafted around where he was being drafted over the last couple of years. Like those guys aren't going to have nearly the same amount of, end zone receptions at all. So I agree. Don't sleep on Rachaad White at all. Jordan Addison. There too. Sorry, I mean, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like everyone just craps on him because he's inefficient, but he can have 5 carries for 11 yards, but catch 4 for 40 with a touchdown, and no one will bat an eye. So that's what you're hoping for.
Exactly. I was just going to say, I really like the receivers that are going in this round. Like you're getting some great value there with Jordan Addison in the 11th. Romeo Doubs goes after that. What do you think about Kyler going to the Vikings?
I want to really love it, but I'm petrified that the Kevin O'Connell magic is going to push Murray too high up that I won't be able to get him. So I'm hoping he can kind of stay like where he is in terms of like an ADP because he's such a good value. But if it goes up, quite a few spots, it could be hard I might not see myself getting too much of him, but it's about as good a landing spot as you can get. O'Connell has done wonderful things with far less talented options than Kyler Murray.
Colby, you're like the king of segues because if I wanted to talk about quarterbacks, and this is kind of what I was wondering. So like last year, Matt Stafford, you're getting him free 19th round in drafts, something like that, just absolutely nothing. He's the MVP, right? Most touchdowns, leads the league in touchdowns. Obviously this year he's going to go a lot higher. He's in the 7th round tonight. He's been going a lot higher, 6th round or so I've been seeing.
Yep.
In these, do you have anybody you think might be or could have that kind of season where you're getting them for almost just nothing, really cheap in drafts, but be able to have like a really great season, at least fantasy wise?
Yeah, not to that level. That's for sure. That was insane what he did with the fact that he doesn't run at all. Guys nearish there, and it's probably still even a little higher from that. Tyler Shuck, he was a QB1 down the stretch. I think he could do it again, and especially if they add like a Mekhi Lemon early in the draft or a good receiver in the first round or two, that would be really good. As much as it pains me to say, as a Houston fan, maybe Cam Ward. Brian Daboll's really, really good offensive mind, brought in Wan'Dale Robinson, and they could add a dynamic player, maybe a Jeremiah Love to the mix there. So maybe Cam Ward as that extension. Kyler Murray's kind of going late as well. He could be intriguing. I so want to believe in Bryce Young, and maybe they get like a tight end, maybe a Kenyon Sadiq in round 1. He could be interesting. And then the only other one that I'll say is, I don't even know if I want to say it. I don't know if I want to say it because I don't want to jinx it because I want it to really happen. But I'm like on the fence of whether to throw it out there, especially now that Kelly left. Now I feel bad. I should have said it when she was on, but I don't know.
Gardner Minshew. It's Gardner Minshew, isn't
it? Yeah. That's the one. That's the Arizona quarterback I have in mind.
That's it.
I mean, I'm not wrong, right? Jacoby Brissett's still there.
Yeah. He has
starter.
not been being drafted. He's not. Yeah, he is. I just checked when she said Gardner Minshew. I got scared for a second, and I was like, "Wait a second, it's Jacoby Brissett."
Because I was looking at the ADP, and it's like he's really far down there. Like, and I'm like, I know I've been kind of more into baseball right now, but like, I'm pretty sure he's still the starting quarterback. I'm pretty sure that defense still stinks. I'm pretty sure he's got good weapons. So I don't know. I could see Jacoby Brissett not really running much and throwing 28 touchdowns while Arizona loses every game 41-35, and think it'd be totally fine.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I am not a Cardinal fan. I don't care if they win or lose, but I'm a big Trey McBride fan. So I would love nothing more than for that to just continue on to this season and all the, success that he and Brissett were having. So this tournament, it's only the 7 divisions that are drafting. So we don't really have ADP as much for that, but the closest thing we do have is over on Fantasy Mojo. They do the ADP for the FFPC. I'm looking at the specific one for their Never Too Early best ball tournament right now. It's the same settings. The last 10 days, Jacoby Brissett has been going in the 13th round. And there's still like a lot of guys afterwards that are, like going that I don't know. I tend to like Brissett better, and you could definitely do a lot worse than Jacoby Brissett, especially in fantasy, guys. You don't have to watch the games. You don't have to like be excited to like hope the team wins. But same for Taylor Swift. Last year, like he was doing great, although it was nobody wanted to watch the Saints games, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. Now Addie's on the clock here, but I don't want to. I want to wait to ask my question until she makes her pick, because I don't want to distract. But I have a feeling I know who she may have been thinking about taking with that spot for only a couple picks before to go. So I want to wait and see, because I don't want to.
Scrolling up, getting a good view. Oh, Addie! I love it. Going with Kyler Murray there.
Right before
Bob Harris has entered the chat. What's up, Bob? Oh, JCM goes. Malik Willis, JCM. Addie is back on the clock. We'll see who she takes. Colby, when we're doing these kind of drafts, right? Let's take like Addie's team, right? So she goes Josh Allen really early, elite, quarterback there. So what round do you think, like if you get one of those elite guys, where do you feel good about, maybe taking a backup? Like, do you push it then? Like, how far do you feel comfortable pushing it? Kind of what are your thoughts on that? I think Colby might be frozen. Addie, it's just me and you. We've taken over. All right, you take Matthew. You take one of my Packers in the 13th round, Matthew Golden. So far, let's look at your receivers. You've got Jamar Chase, Nico Collins, Emeka Egbuka, Alec Pierce, and Matthew Golden. What made you want to take Matthew Golden?
I don't know. I just feel like he would just be like a really good pick, and I don't know. I just feel like he's gonna like really be good this year.
Yeah. Well, so Romeo Doubs goes and signs with the Patriots. Mm-hmm. So now there's, that kind of clears things up a little bit in Green Bay.
Yeah.
You don't have as many, guys that are fighting for targets, and it's the second year. I think we'll get things a little more figured out this year. I like Matthew Golden. I like what he brings to the table, there in Green Bay. I think that's a great pick in the 13th round.
Yeah. We should get another picture at the expo.
We did. Look at that. Oh, that's Roxanne, I think, as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you going to be at the expo this year?
Yeah, I'm going to like all of like the parties, I think.
Yes. All right, guys, you heard it here first. Addie's coming to the expo, so you guys need to make sure you're coming to the expo. I will be at the expo. It should be a good time this year. It's always one of my favorite events every year for fantasy football. It's nice to go. It's nice to hang out with everybody who, shares this passion that we have for fantasy football. And it's nice to meet all of your internet friends, in real life.
Yeah.
Guys, Colby's internet cut out. He's going to be coming back as soon as he gets that sorted out. In the meantime, let me update you guys on the draft right here. We're in the 13th round. JCM goes off the board. Then we got Golden, Daniel Jones, Jordan Mason, Bryce Young, Troy Franklin, Theo Johnson, Jonathan Brooks, and Travis Hunter go. Here he is.
I didn't like saying I like everything just went to the little buffering wheel.
No.
And I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I like checked YouTube on my phone, and I was like, well, that's weird because everything's playing there totally fine. And then it's just not on my screen. And then I was watching and you guys are talking. I'm just blankly staring into the screen. I was like, please cut my face out of this. This is so weird looking. But anyway, we're back. I just had to restart the computer. I was so worried about the dog barking the whole time. And he's only done it twice. And meanwhile, the internet cuts out. So, yeah.
No. I thought I was like, when we realized that you were frozen, I was like, well, at least he's not making like a dumb face. You know how like when it freezes and your like mouth's halfway open, or like,
I mean, it was just my normal one. We could argue whether it's dumb or not, but yeah, I mean, it definitely could have been worse. I could have been like mid-sentence or like looking away or something.
Yeah,
so it works out well. But I missed Matthew Golden being picked.
You did. We had a nice discussion about the Green Bay receivers.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were pro Matthew Golden, right?
We are pro Matthew Golden. We think that things are a little bit more clear now in Green Bay now that Romeo Doubs has gone and got paid over in New England. Sad to see him go, but glad that he's making his money. Colby, I had in the middle of asking you a quarterback question, and I wanted to go back to that because I think I do have a lot of questions about QBs and like where we should be taking them, and like if we take like an elite guy, like Addie takes like Josh Allen here, or like Lamar Jackson goes really early too, like where do you feel is a good spot to go get your second QB in a best ball tournament? Like how far are you okay with pushing it? And then if you do get one of those guys, are you only getting like 2 quarterbacks? Or are you just stopping there, or do you go get a third like in like the last round or something? Stop it. He did not freeze again in the middle of that same question. That question's cursed. I can't ask it again. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. That's hilarious. Guys, so we're in the 14th round now. I don't know. What do you think, Addie? You've got Kyler Murray. Do you feel like you need to get another QB, or are you good? You set?
I don't know. I was thinking about another quarterback, but I don't know. I might just like stick with value players.
Yeah. I think that's a good strategy there because you've got Josh Allen, who like other than his bye week, he's probably going to be starting every week for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is single QB. And then, in case something happens, or, maybe we have those games where Kyler Murray just goes off, then you've got him there. So I don't know that you need another one. I think you could fill out your roster with some other guys.
Yeah.
See who's available. You're on deck. You're going to be drafting here in a second. Drew says Colby is faking internet. Exactly. He's too scared to have the conversation that Addie and I just had about draft strategy for quarterbacks. It's just absolutely crazy. Hopefully none of you guys hear Maddox barking in the background. He's getting very, very upset that I refused to give him his favorite squeaky toy. Not doing that. We don't give in. Nope. We don't give in, buddy.
That's Bryce.
All right. Guys, again, thanks to everybody who's hanging out with us tonight, watching tonight. We've got one more of these drafts coming up Monday, the 30th. It's going to be our Cynthia Freeland division last draft that we are doing with the live stream. So hopefully we'll see everybody there that's in the chat. That should be a really fun night. We got Dewan Jennings, Jaden Higgins go off the board. Addie, you took Jalen Coker. Do you like the Carolina offense there? I think that's a sneaky pick there in the 14th round. I like it.
Starting tight end for the Jets. Kobe's the starting tight end for the Rams.
So we'll see who her next
for Stafford's tight end. Stafford's tight end or the Jets tight end.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
You can't hear her.
It happens on my phone. Put the internet provider on blast, but
absolutely, we need to let them know. Colby, you need to let them know and be like, "Thank God I wasn't drafting in the middle of a tournament here. This would have been detrimental to your teams." I mean,
yeah, I I feel like I'm missing all these good, like I didn't even get to talk about Jalen Coker, Casey Concepcion. I'm getting belittled in the chat for something I can't control. I pay for a gig of fiber per month. I have the highest internet plan, and I'm cutting out. So I don't know what you want me to do. Drew3MR, he's in the chat.
Whoever that is.
Yeah, whatever. Just yeah, whatever. But yes, I don't know what your question was about quarterbacks, but I feel like whenever we talk about quarterbacks is when AT&T decides to cut my internet out. So I don't know. I'm not afraid to ask it.
I'm afraid to ask you quarterback questions now. It's like they know it's a trigger word for AT&T.
How many more picks you have?
Yep.
They know to cut
About
it.
to be for me too.
Right. Okay, well, let's see. Geno Smith goes off the board here. So let's see. There you go, Patty. Whose team was that? All right, we got Danielle's team. She took Jackson Dart, followed up by Bryce Young, Geno Smith. So Addie and I actually had a nice discussion about what to do when you take elite quarterbacks. What do you think about like if you maybe wait on quarterbacks like Danielle did? She waited and got Jackson Dart. Do you feel like you need to, maybe go for 3 in a tournament like this, or like, and if you do, kind of like how far down are you going to push it before you get your next one or your last one?
Yeah, I mean, if you draft someone like Josh Allen, like your backup's pretty much not going to be your scoring quarterback on other than maybe 1 week during the season. So I think, let's see how I want to word this. The more elite quarterback that you get, I think your QB2 can be more upside driven because you only really kind of need them for maybe 1 or 2 weeks. Whereas I think if you wait for a quarterback like Addie took Josh Allen, came back with Kyler Murray, fine upside play, totally good with that. And then you see like someone the last pick there, Jalen Hurts with Trevor Lawrence 2 picks later. Don't necessarily hate that with questions about the offensive coordinator in Philly. One that I kind of really like with a person that went Dak and Bo, like that's a situation where like it's perfect in that like there's a little bit of upside, but you have 2 safe options, and there's a realistic chance where Prescott's your quarterback 7 of the weeks and Nix is the other 7, and it kind of works out perfectly. And like in the Jackson Dart example, there could be some injury risk, so maybe you want a more bona fide second option. And when my wife did one of these, I'm pretty sure she took Geno Smith in the last round as well, solely because of an injury risk to one of her 2 quarterbacks that was a little bit mobile. And say what you want about Geno, he's at least going to play. And sometimes you just need that boring option there. So I think it's a balancing act between durability or injury risk for your quarterback. And then the more elite quarterback, you can maybe wait a little bit unless it's like I don't want to call Jaden Daniels injury prone because of what happened last year, but he does put himself at risk. So maybe that's the way. The more the quarterback is in harm's way, like a Jaden Daniels or Jackson Dart, maybe you prioritize the second quarterback just a little bit. Nothing crazy, but maybe a round or 2 before.
When we're drafting like this early, because it's obviously, we all know this, it's March, right? We haven't had the draft yet. Like, do you tend to go safe, or are you just drafting for upside at this point? Maybe trying to put together some builds that you may not be able to get a little bit later in the season.
Early on, I think it's safe. Get me my early running backs that I know have a role, or that I at least deem to not be over impacted by the draft. But then in these early drafts, again, I'm also saying this without doing any, but from doing them this year, but from doing them in the past, the rookies is where you can get your value. Like you're going to, chalk it up to the game, as they say. Like take Kenyon Sadiq now. You're getting him he went in the 7th round here. Yeah. Very real chance he's a 4th round pick in like a month and 5 days. Eli Stowers, same type thing. The top 3 rookie wide receivers, like this is where you're going to get the values on the rookies. And yes, you could get screwed by Carnell Tate going to Cleveland and having whoever's going to throw the ball there. But like you may also just like look back and like say like, wow, I got Jadarian Price and Mekhi Lemon and their ADPs are now 40 picks higher. Like this is where you can really capitalize because the values, some people might be more risk averse, and that's going to let them take like Michael Pittman went before Mekhi Lemon, someone who, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that per se, but like the upside be like in a month and 5 days from now, Lemon could be going 3 rounds before Pittman. Yeah, it's very possible. So like it's just a matter of your drafting style. Like earlier on, I am definitely more upside driven and going for it. And as we get closer to the season, when I know roles are solidified, I'm definitely more risk averse.
I like what you mentioned about the rookies too, because I think you're right. You know, like this, getting them before the draft happens, this is the lowest, you know, that you're going to be able to get a lot of these guys, because they are, as soon as they hit their landing spots, you know, they're going to end up, a lot of them skyrocketing. I mean, look what happened with Travion Henderson last year, right? He goes to the Patriots, and then all of a sudden, August, we're like third, fourth round drafting Travion Henderson, much to all of our dismay. But you know, like if you drafted him now, back in March, I'm sure you got great value on him last year. And I hope even hear all that noise. Now he's found another.
And it goes beyond like just the rookies themselves too. Like if Washington does or doesn't draft Jeremiah Love, like Love's ADP is probably not going to move all that much, but like Addy took Rachaad White. Like if they don't take Jeremiah Love, Rachaad White's going to be drafted 2 to 3 rounds earlier. And if Jeremiah Love does go to Washington, like White's still a fine value because there's just such a solidified role. But there are like other teams thinking about the likes of like Tennessee. Like if Love comes in there, we know they like to ride one horse. Like he's going to impact that greatly. Like maybe what do the Jaguars do at running back, if anything? And then like there's some other teams in the mix there that like what do the Giants do? Like if the Giants take a running back, like say they take Love or Price, like what happens to Scatteraboo, Tyrone Tracy? Like so it's not just the rookies whose value can fluctuate. It can also be those veterans that are in there that could see their roles diminish by way of a rookie. And then at that point, then it's like, well, now it doesn't look as good in the 5th round. But I mean, it is what it is. You chalk it up to the game of drafting early. There's pros and cons to whenever you draft, and this, you know, it goes both ways.
Scatteraboo, speaking of going in the 4th overall over the last 10 days of this tournament, I think he actually just went a little bit earlier. I think he went in the 3rd. And no, the 2nd. He went the 2nd here to Kelly. So you're absolutely right. Definitely things that you have to think about.
We got Addy coming up soon here.
She's on deck.
So Addy is what, 3 tight ends, 2 of the positions that I can't say. What, 4, 5 running backs? 1, 2,
yeah, let's see.
4.
We got Henderson, Tootin, Pollard, Rachaad White,
and then 6 receivers.
Yeah,
I was doing a quick count. Coker, Golden, Pierce, Collins, Ibuka, and I'm missing one, I think.
Did you say Pierce?
Yeah.
Okay. Golden, Coker.
Oh, so it was
Chase.
Chase.
Yeah.
Best one.
Who did I see? Oh, I just saw Brian Robinson go off the board. I'm really bummed that
I thought B. Robinson went in the 1st.
I know. I wanted Amber's team to get both B. Robinsons.
Make sure you draft the right one first. And Najee. Okay. I saw he visited with Seattle today. Guess who needs a running back?
Yeah.
Seattle.
I didn't see that, but that makes a ton of sense because they were one of the ones like in free agency that I was really surprised didn't go after, you know, a running back early on. You know, obviously with Walker leaving and going to Kansas City, and then you know Sharps is hurt, and
another wide receiver.
I mean that would ruin things for my beloved Emmanuel Wilson, who's kind of been like one of my sleepers.
But I mean, it might not, though, because depending if Harris doesn't have that burst coming off the torn Achilles. And I mean, even if he is showing some effects of that, you don't need a great Achilles to run it in from the 1 or 2 yard line until Sharps comes back. So Najee's interesting. And Braylon Allen was one of my most drafted running backs last season. I jinxed him. So hopefully I won't draft him this year and he'll be good, but just had that bad injury. But the role should be there. And I do love me some Braylon Allen.
Yeah, no, same. Absolutely. I am a big Braylon Allen fan so far. Colby, what did you think about Ken Walker going to the Chiefs? We've had this discussion a lot with like our other guests during the show, but I always like to ask because I'm getting like mixed reviews about Walker and the Chiefs.
I am very happy with the contract he got for him. That's great. That's life-changing money. It's a good spot as long as Kansas City can. I expect Kansas City to look at least one lineman with because Kansas City has 2 picks in the first round with the McDuffie trade. So I expect one of them to probably be an offensive lineman, which should certainly help. And we've seen that at Kansas City's best, it is Mahomes making a lot of plays, but they do have a sufficient ground game. Like they've been trotting out a bunch of nobodies there for the past couple of years. So Walker's dynamic. He's an incredible talent. I probably will have 0 shares of Ken Walker though. And it's not because I don't like him or the spot. I think I've seen a couple drafts where he's going and there's just other guys I like so much more. Where'd Ken Walker go in this one?
So in this one, let's scroll up. Let's see. The 3rd? Yeah, he went to Amber at the first pick in the 3rd round. And he was...
That's at least manageable. I think I could get on there. Kyron, Josh Hall. Yeah. I expect Walker to be... I will say by draft season, Walker will be the steam and when the people who basically come out for fantasy football in like July, August time kind of get it and they see Chiefs, Ken Walker, the big money that came out. It will not shock me if Walker's going before Henry, before Love, before Barkley, Scadaboo, and is up more in that like Brown, Hampton, Cook range. That will not be a draft spot for me for Ken Walker.
No, and I'm looking at the Mojo ADP over here. He's going in the 2nd round. Yep. He's going in front of Saquon, Henry, Josh Jacobs, Bucky, Kyron, all those guys. I actually really like Travis Etienne's or Achan or however it is that we're saying his name now. I really like his.
That was wild.
Right?
Like, I mean, I guess I can see like beginning with an E-A. I can kind of see that. I don't know if I quite capture where Tienne is Chen. Right. I'm not quite sure if I don't know. I'm not quite sure that I follow that, but it just thinks he was the best ETN in the NFL, but he's not the best HN in the NFL. So he went down the last name ranks there with that one.
I'm never gonna remember to say it like that.
I always thought ETN was like cool. Like
it is cool.
It was a couple syllables. You can spell your whole last name in 3 letters. Like I thought that was kind of cool, but apparently not.
No.
It's HN.
I guess.
But I guess the other argument to that too is how do you let people mispronounce your name for so long?
For so long.
But then again, as someone who's non-confrontational and like my food could be cooked wrong and I will not send it back and everything like that. When someone calls me Cody or Kobe or anything like that, I don't correct them either. So you know what? I get it. Never mind. I get it. It all makes sense.
Same. Like Stacy, Tracy, Lacey, Casey, all of those things I have been called throughout my life, and we just let it roll.
Yep. If you're looking at me and you say something that's close to my name, I'm responding. So,
all right, guys. 18th round. We're getting ready to wrap this draft up. This is moving really fast. I'm gonna get some last minute, some late round guys here. Colby, anybody in the last few rounds, any sleepers that you particularly like this year?
New number 1 in Houston, Tank Dell. I think he's worth a dart throw here late. Elijah Surratt's another rookie that could be potentially intriguing. I'd be looking towards him. Trying to think.
This is best ball.
Yeah, those are kind of the 2 that jump off the board at me right now. Let me pull up the recent ADP too and look at some guys down there that I tend to be inclined about. I gotta do a quick look. Did Jaden Reed go yet?
Yes.
He had to have.
He went, let's see. He went the 12th round.
Okay, so I'm way off.
Yeah, right around Shakir, Stephon Diggs.
The Giants.
Those are the guys that went in that round there. Yeah.
Did he go in Tennessee?
Let's see. Oh, this is so tough without having my normal. Oh, DK went. I like him. Shahid, Aya Manor. Yeah, I think the 2 that I don't see right now, Tank Dell and Elijah Surratt are 2 guys that I'm pretty intrigued by here in the late rounds.
Where has Dell been going? I'm going to take a look. Do you see him on the list?
Who?
I'm looking. Dell, where's Dell going?
Do you have Nico?
He's 16.3.
Yes.
There
it is. Everybody's forgetting about him. I swear, everybody is forgetting about sweet little Tank Dell. Biggest Tank Dell fan in the world besides his mom.
I got one. that hasn't been
Ooh.
picked yet. I hope. Don't get overly excited. It's not anything to get very excited about. I'm kind of in on Calvin Ridley again.
Ooh, talk me into it.
I don't know if I know why though. I just feel like I want to be, and I feel like he just is a wide receiver one, or can be, or has all the tools of it. And like, Ian Manner's fine. Wandale will serve his role, but Calvin Ridley is just a guy who can win on the outside for them. And I think Calvin Ridley is going to be that guy that I'm just going to draft every year, be disappointed every year, but then next year come back on shows and be like, you know what? I think he could be decent this year. And at this price, I mean, he's basically free. If he scores you twice this season, it's worth it. And he could do that. Tennessee's playing from behind, or Cam Ward does have that year 2 jump. Calvin Ridley could be really intriguing. And he wanted to stay in Tennessee, taking that contract rework to take a little bit less money. Like, he wanted to stay there.
Somebody's listening. Tank Dell just goes off the board.
Yep.
Look at that.
I'm hoping he can stay healthy. Like, he's just, I know he wasn't explosive in 2024 as he was in 2023 with Stroud, but also Stroud hasn't been as explosive since 2023 either. But the two just have such a good connection. Tank can play that off script game. The only thing that'll be interesting is how he adjusts to the Nick Caley offense, or lack thereof. We'll have to see kind of how he reacts to that, but he should be out on the field. It seems like he's going to be supposedly by April, he's supposed to be ready to go. So we're hoping that's the case.
I was going to ask you, I'm glad you brought that up, because I meant to ask you about that earlier when we were talking about the the receivers in Houston, was if there was any news on when we thought that he would be back. I feel like it's been 84 years since we've seen Tank Dell.
It's been too long. I still remember when Jared Wayne got pushed into his leg and it was all bent out of shape. I remember exactly where I was, what I was drinking. Oh my gosh, I remember it all.
It was awful. I remember that game like vividly. That was terrible. Right. Steph, were you talking about Omar Cooper Jr.? I'm guessing, because that's the only rookie that's gone since you mentioned it, besides Nick Singleton. Yeah, I like Omar Cooper as well. Guys, 19th round, Aaron Rodgers goes, JJ McCarthy goes. We'll see. A.D. Mitchell.
Addy cornered the Minnesota quarterback market, so you preserve that. And Calvin Ridley, like I said, I like him. Can't go back on that one. So Nick Singleton, I like that pick there too. That's actually a nice little run there. Dell, Singleton, Cooper, Ridley, 4 guys that I like all right there. I think that's a nice little run there.
I think there's a lot of value still in these last few rounds, like especially, like if you're, kind of trying to find guys that are, have potential to get on the field, have that great upside though. Like, I don't know, Colby, like what are you looking for in your last few picks? Like, what are some things that are going to be kind of like tiebreakers for you if you've got several guys in your queue? What's going to make you pick one over the other?
Obviously, your roster build will have a piece to play in that. But honestly, at this point, you're just looking for someone that like you can. All these guys are going to have warts, right? No one down here is perfect, or else they wouldn't be drafted in the 19th round. But you're looking for some reason to be excited about them, like Omar Cooper, young, exciting rookie, potentially with the landing spot. What if Tank Dell is back to 2023? Does Cooper Kupp come back to life after kind of looking a little bit rusty as last year in LA? Like, does something happen with Kyler and McCarthy's renewed this year? You're just looking for a reason that something could play for him. Like Keenan Allen, what if he gets signed to a wide receiver needy team? Like, he becomes an interesting play there. So you're really just looking for a path at this point to get you maybe is in your scored lineup 1 or 2 times over the season. Like, that's a win when you're talking the 19th round, because there's 12 people in this draft. So every 10 rounds is 120 people. So we're outside of the top 200. Like, at this point, like if you can get 1 or 2 weeks from these guys in your lineup, that's a win. You're just looking for a reason. It's the same thing. There's going to be 38 reasons why not to draft somebody at this point. Just focus on the 1 or 2 that gives you a path to viability to starting in your lineup.
I like you mentioned Cooper Kupp, but then we've got Torrey Horton here goes in the 19th round. I mean, we were talking about him on the waiver show last year. Like, how many weeks in a row?
I don't know why Seattle brought Shaheed back.
Yeah.
They were fine with JSN, the soon-to-be ghost of Cooper Kupp, and Torrey Horton. Yeah. They were fine. They don't need Shaheed. That contract for Shaheed was ridiculous. And yes, I know the the new play caller for them, I believe, if I heard it correctly, is still Shanahan-esque and is part of that tree. But like, it seems like Shaheed was like Kubiak's guy, and Kubiak's not there now, and they gave him, I think, 51 mil, I think, if I remember correctly.
Right.
Shaheed, nothing against him. He screwed that up. Seattle screwed that up.
Agreed. There goes Bam Knight. Kelly was tired. Is that Kelly's team?
Sure
she
is.
Bam Knight? Yeah.
Also, closet Baltimore fan or just a fan of birds, because it's Cardinals and then there was 3 Ravens right back to back there in rounds like 3, 4, 5. So secret bird fan. I respect it.
That's what I was wondering, because I know she's a big Mark Andrews fan, but I didn't know if that also translated to being a big Ravens fan as well. Addie, who wins in the wild, a Cardinal or a Raven?
A Raven.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's what I would say.
Yeah. I think I like doing that sometimes. Like if the mascots were real, like who would win?
Do you know for March Madness, I believe this was real. So if it's not, I'm just gonna look at fool. But I'm pretty sure on DraftKings or another sportsbook site like that, like the March Madness champion, they had groups of like the mascots. So like you could bet on like the winning was like birds or like weather occurrences for like cyclones and hurricanes, and like there was supposedly like stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would do it for like the NFL. I would assume like birds and or cats would probably be like the heavy favorite, but like how would you go about that? I think that would be like an interesting kind of like preseason prop of like, I know mascots aren't really a thing for the NFL, but like the team. Yeah. That'd be interesting.
I mean, like between people, like who wins between like a Buccaneer and a Patriot?
I mean, I think we have to say Patriot.
I don't know. USA. We have Buccaneers have Well, they both have cannons.
Yeah.
One's on a ship. One's on.
You do a March Madness bracket of like the things of like who would win between like all the NFL mascots or the NFL teams. I think a Texan would win. They're pretty tough. They're tough people.
They are. I think we should do that during the off season. I think we should do an NFL mascot like Sweet 16 or something like that. Like
or do like an NFL mascot mock draft, and when we go through of like a fight, and then just put it up to AI to determine who would win and everything like that.
I love it. Okay, write it down. We're definitely doing that at some point in the off season. That's happening. Colby, did you do a bracket? Did you do a bracket?
Yeah, I did a couple. One's already screwed, and I'm a self-proclaimed college basketball expert the Wednesday right before the bracket, before March Madness starts. I never heard of Cal Baptist, but you never saw anybody rooting harder for Cal Baptist than me.
I did one and just one. And I mean, I used to be really into college basketball, and now I just don't have the brain space for all of it to follow it throughout the season. But yeah, same. The night before, like I'm all about it, love it. I'm a big Duke fan. I don't want to jinx them, but
I did a women's bracket. I was just out there grinding.
Look at that, man. Gardner Minshew, Kelly. She's just telling all her picks. 20th round, guys. We are wrapping this draft up. Thank you to everybody who hung out with us in the chat tonight. Thank you to all of our drafters.
Yeah. And Addie hung out with us the whole time.
Addie
and all of Addie's friends. Well, they quieted down a little bit here near the end, but they were alive and well in the early and middle rounds.
Yeah, they were. They showed up. Addie, is there one player that you don't want any part of this season at all? You're like, I'm not going to draft this player at all.
I would say probably Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh, why?
Because he's hurt, and I just don't like the Chiefs. And he sounds like Kermit the Frog. Sorry, Colton.
Yes, he does.
Honestly, it's fair enough, and it's probably like in like a Family Feud game of reasons not to like him. Being on the Chiefs and his voice would probably be two of the top 5 answers that would show up there. So, That's pretty fair. Then before this wraps up, Addie, I have one question as well. Who's the one player that you didn't get that you wish you would have? Because I thought you were definitely looking at Khalil Shakir in that round when he went like 3 or 4 picks before you. But oh well, I guess there's the answer. It was Khalil Shakir.
I got sniped. With my pick, I was gonna take Bijan, but then Amber took him, and then where was the other one? I was gonna take Kyle Monangai, Monangai, whatever you call it. And then I got auto picked.
Yeah, that'll happen.
That's okay though. Well, that happens to the best of us. Girl, you are on the clock. Who are you taking with your last pick tonight? Greg Dulcich. He's got great hair. Darnell Washington goes. I couldn't be happier about that in the last round, Mr. Irrelevant. This has been great. Addie, how do you feel about your team? I'm going to scroll up so everybody can see it.
I feel pretty good. What?
Your note that you wrote.
Oh, yeah. On my little paper, I wrote a note to myself. I'm gonna win.
That's right. I love it. I love the confidence. Are you going to win? You're not even just going to win your division. You're going to win the entire thing.
Yeah, I will.
That's right. That's great.
Last year, I didn't do the greatest because Kendall took Josh. And I got really mad at her. Still mad at her. But got him this year as early as I could.
There you go.
You did. That's right. Go get your guys, right?
Yeah.
Get your guys. All right, guys. Well, everybody, thanks again for hanging out with us tonight. Don't forget that we have got a show coming up on Monday, 8 p.m., Cynthia Freeland Division. It's going to be our last live stream of the tournament. Big thanks to the FFPC for hosting us. Again, as always, thanks to everybody else who is drafting, everybody in the chat watching. You guys make sure to give us a like, a subscribe, a follow so you know when we are going to be out with all of our shows. And Colby, tell the people where they can find you.
At Colby R. Conway over on X. So check me out there.
You got any MLB predictions for us on this opening day, pre-opening day?
Oh man, for opening day, I will give you Pirates over their win total. I think they'll be a better team than past year. So Pirates over their win total.
All right. Miss Addison, thank you again for joining us. Can't wait to see you at the expo. And yeah, guys, I'm at Stacy_Perez83. Don't forget, go on over. Make sure you visit Fantasy Fits. Get that 15% off with the Fantasy and Frames promo code FIF15. Again, we'll be back Monday night. Until then, see you guys later. Have a good night.